What's up, y'all? Just gonna get another video in. I'm at work again at a trailer park again. And this time I'm working on a second trailer, and I'm just ready to quit doing it this my hair. Anyways, second brother, dad, grandpa, second ones. I got an E350 and it's got a 6.0 Power Stroke in it, and it's sitting on a car trailer, it's tied down. They were like, "Yo, can you fix this thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Look, take a look at it." I was like, "What's wrong?" They go, "Oh, something's wrong with one of the fuel pumps. We don't know which one it is." They were like, "Well, it's leaking something all over the place. Don't really know what that is. The transmission is not doing good." I'm like, "Oh crap!" I was like, "Okay, let me take a look at it, see what I can do." Find out it's got blown cylinder head gaskets. It's got the low pressure fuel pump is fine. The high pressure fuel injector pump sends fuel from it takes the fuel from the low pressure pump and pumps it into the injectors. The electronic fuel injector pump, the high pressure one, is knocking really, really bad. It's clicking almost like sounding like an engine running, but it's not supposed to sound like that at all. It sounds like when it's priming and it's turning, it sounds like it is something's like literally just rattling around in the pump. But that not only that, but he said the transmission's about to go out. I looked at it; it's a 5-speed automatic. He goes on a 6.0. I think it's the 5R110 dash W 830 transmission, I believe. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna have to take a look at it today. But I figured it all up. I looked on the internet, looked on eBay. They got almost brand new OEM style high pressure injector pump. That's only been used like once or twice off of another truck, of F Series Super Duty, I think. Yeah, and I found out a complete head gasket kit comes with all the gaskets you need if you want to overhaul. It's got overhaul gaskets, but that, and I looked up the 5-speed automatic transmission that goes into the E350 that's on the trailer right now, and all of that combined is like $1,200, which includes a little bit of extra money left over. So you might as well say $1,200 just to fix those three problems. And I don't know whose idea was it to keep driving it with the oil leaking with half blown head gaskets, but there's oil all over the bottom of the trailer, or all under the truck, all over the top of the floor of the trailer. It's all over the block, all over the starter, all over the oil pan, oil filter. It looks like someone had like took a heavy steel shell and just shot the block with it. Like someone just put like a heavy steel shell in a shotgun and just blew a hole in the block. It's leaking oil pretty much that bad. I've never seen anything like it. They have the nerve to drive it, and there's smut all up under the hood. You just take your finger, just wipe it. I did that. Actually, it was the night before last night. I did that, and I took my finger. I was like, "What the hell?" It coated my finger just black as it could be. So much smut under there. They also, for some reason, they had the nerve to put. Okay, the radiator head takes 50/50 antifreeze water mixture. Also, the secondary coolant tank or reservoir also takes the same mixture. They just put straight up water in it, 100% water, 100% like filter tap water in the secondary coolant reservoir tank, and expect it to run good. I mean, if you put 100% water, it's gonna just evaporate and just go bad. I mean, seriously, it's just not gonna do anything. But you're supposed to put 50/50 antifreeze and water in it to make sure it runs right, and they just been putting straight up water. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? But they're busy. They own like multiple trailer parks. I'm over here at one of them just destroying the second trailer. I really would just want to be done with it. But yeah, for the 6.0, you gotta definitely make sure all gaskets that hold oil or coolant, make sure they're good. If they're blown, you're gonna be like seeing coolant or especially oil just all over the place. If they blow completely, oil and coolant all over the floor, all over the top of the trailer, wherever the hell it's at, it's just gonna be all over the place. Um, Plus, if it starts to run like that, you're definitely not going to get enough oil to the turbo, and the turbo is going to go out, and that is a one son of a bitch to replace. It's a pain in the ass just to get the turbo off of a fucking E350. The E series is so painful to get to. You only got about maybe like a 12-inch wide hood, Like the length of it from the windshield to the front of the front of the vehicle is like 12 inches. Like 1 foot. It's just 1 foot for a hood, and it's like the same width as the truck. The length is like only 1 foot. Normal, like the F Series truck, you got like a 3 to 4 foot hood. You can just pop it up and see the whole engine. You pop this thing up, and you can only see like the radiator and maybe the front, two uh, turbo intercooler pipes. That's about it. Anything else, you literally have to rip the top of the engine off just to get to the rest of it. But it's got blown head gaskets. They put 100% water in the coolant tank, and it's probably why it ran hot. The transmission is about to go out, and the high pressure fuel injector pump's pretty much toast. It's no way, it is toast. And I mean, it'll start. It just won't. Like, it'll crank. It just won't turn over and start. And I mean, it sounds good, turning over or cranking, but after like 2 or 3 seconds, it just sounds completely weak, and it starts skipping and jumping, but it just won't start. Obviously, because the injector pump's toast, and it's more likely it's not getting any fuel to the injectors or to the cylinders. Uh, they said it won't. The transmission's bad out. That's like a $650 deal right there, plus $45 tax and a free ship. The shipping's free, obviously. Thank God. But altogether, for all the parts, it's like $1,200, and they're like, no, we're not gonna sink any more money in this truck. I'm like, so you're not gonna sink any money in this truck anymore? Yet y'all asked me to take a look at it, see if I can fix it. Look, I just started working for y'all, and y'all are now saying y'all aren't like gonna put any money for the parts. I mean, if you bought the parts, just bring them. Let them come here, and I'll put the parts on. I mean, shit, y'all ain't gotta do shit. But yeah, I mean, Lincoln Oil, you're definitely gonna have a burnout turbo. Uh, you're not gonna get any oil to the shaft, the crankshaft, the camshaft, all the internal parts of the engine, and they're gonna lock up. You lock that up, it's gonna put damage in your transmission, especially if you're on the road and you're just driving this. The engine just locks up. It's gonna destroy it and strip all the gears possible in the transmission. Then your transmission is definitely gonna be out. Um, if you're burning, if there's leaking oil, also if it gets past the piston rings into the top of the cylinder, you're gonna be burning oil. You're gonna be rolling smoke, a lot of smoke. Now, y'all truckers out, big, pickup truck, diesel truckers. If you're like slamming the pedal through the through the fucking firewall, you can going out as fast as you can. Yeah, the truck's gonna roll cold. I mean, it's diesel. It's diesel fuel. It's made to burn and turn black. And that's why your diesel pipes are black inside. But if you're getting if it's bad piston ring and it's getting up into the top of the cylinder, and then it's just going like this and it's just burning oil, you're gonna have a lot of excess smoke that it really does not need to be there. Um, Not only is that, but that piston ring could explode into tiny bits, mix into the oil in the shaft or in the pan in the bottom of the block, get caught up into the crankshaft, lock it. Which, if you're on the highway, it locks that. It'll destroy and strip every fucking gear in that damn transmission. And then the engine and transmission is completely toast. You have to rebuild it all the way, or just buy a brand new powertrain setup and or power plant, what they call it, or just engine transmission. But yeah, that's gonna be the bad part, and like I would fix it for them. It's just the truck needs to come off the trailer. It needs to be jacked up with floor jacks and any lift I could get to get if they got the transmission, I could put it in. Just get like 2 floor jacks and just kind of slowly jack the transmission, lower the first one out, roll it out, get a tractor to pull it out, and get the new one in, and then just lift it on in there, bolt it shut, all that good stuff. Now the head gaskets, I would have to strip that engine apart. I really don't want to have to lift the cab off the truck. Most E350s, they have diesel engines, about diesel Power Strokes in it, made by Ford. Most, if they have a pretty serious problem, they're like, oh, we got to take this to the shop. They take it to the shop, and next thing you know, they got to lift the whole fucking cab off. and it's just not only is it more expensive, but also it's just a pain in the ass to do it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I could do it without taking the cap off. I would just have to, take the hood off, or unbolt the hood, and then just strip the engine down to the block and the cylinder heads, and just take the heads off, get to the gaskets, put new gaskets on, make sure nothing gets down into the cylinders. Um, the best that I can. Put it back together. Oh, sorry, guys. I've been working on it since like 7:30 this morning. I'm tired as hell. But yeah, you just put it back all back together, start it up, check for leaks, and hopefully it'll be running. Now the fuel injector pump, it is electronically timed, but it is gear driven. So that's gonna be pretty interesting to figure get that out. So help me, if it is the high pressure oil pump, I'm going to be literally pissed off that I did not diagnose that correctly. I've been working on Power Strokes, having my dad and stuff, since I was 6 or 8 years old. I'm now 20 years old, and so I got about 12, 14 years of experience of that. But it sounds like it's coming from the high pressure oil pump, which it may be that, clicking in, because it's not getting oil. And it's just, running straight, air and a little bit of oil since most of it's leaked out already through the headers. No, excuse me, not the headers, but the gaskets that are halfway blown. But the thing is, when you turn the key and the fuel's priming, the low pressure one underneath the chassis is working correctly. It's vibrating, it's making a silent little hum, and it's working smoothly. And also the injector pump works at the same time. When is that before you start the engine? When you turn it like halfway and it's priming the fuel system, that's when I heard the bad clicking, and I was like, okay, the injector pump that's finishes off the fuel priming process is out. It's becoming toast. So just if any of y'all out there got 6 liter, make sure you number one, engine's still running. Obviously, two, oil is a big thing. You got to keep oil to the turbo. You got to keep the oil changed. If any gaskets are blown, replace them as soon as you can. Do not fuck up. And oh, I could wait another day. And then that's your engine blows up, and you're like, what the hell? So yeah, don't do that. Make sure all gaskets are good. If it starts leaking coolant, it may also be one of the head gaskets or a cylinder head gasket, or one of the cylinder head gaskets that goes between the head and the block, or it could be a blown fuel pump. No, excuse, not fuel pump. It could be a blown water pump, uh, leaking radiator hoses, um, a damaged secondary reservoir or damaged radiator, or damaged cooling system. It could be either any of that, but main thing, coolant levels, oil, gaskets, anything that could, seal it, keep the fluids that are inside the engine in. Fuel system, keep the filters clean, make sure your low pressure, high pressure pumps are working correctly. Make sure there's no clogs in the fuel system. Make sure you got clean fuel. If it's got water in it, make sure make sure the truck is equipped with a fuel water separator. You just drain a little bit of water out. Since water is a little bit um, heavier than diesel fuel, obviously, because oil floats on top of water, obviously. So if it's water is heavier than diesel fuel, so it sinks down to the bottom. If it's in the bottom of the fuel tank, or in the bottom of the fuel system, just drain the water out until it's straight up diesel coming out. Once you hit that, close it up as tight as you can, fast as you can, so you're not draining all your diesel out. And just do that, all that. Also, the 5R110 transmissions, 5-speed automatics, they're great. 6-speed, if you can find one. Great transmissions. They're very reliable, very good. Make sure you got good enough trans fluid in it. Make sure that you don't just burn it up. Drive it excessively hard or extremely hard. If it starts to act up a little funny or start to go out, take it to a transmission repair shop or auto shop. See if they can repair the inside of it, or if all is lost, see if you can get the best, most reasonable deal on the transmission. That's a lot of stuff is going on with that E350 that's on the trailer at the house. But most 6 liters, whether E3 or E series or F series, mostly F series, they're very strong trucks, very strong engines. Just make sure they are well taken care of, and they will last you a lifetime. Same thing with the 7.4 Power Stroke. Same thing with the 6.7 Power Stroke. You know, 7.3's most reliable diesel engine Ford ever made. 7.3 International, 7.3 Power Stroke, very reliable engines. They're your workhorses. They last forever. If you take good care of them, they will last forever. Same thing for the 6.0, 6.4, 6.7. They just have a little bit more what they call picky tendencies. They don't like it. They don't like when you put a DPF or EGR on it. They hate it. They're like little children getting strangled. They don't like to be strangled. Um, that goes towards the 6.0, 6.4, 6.7, the DPF and EGR system. It's basically strangles it to death. If you get a truck with a 6.0, 6.4, 6.7, or one of those three engines, and it has a DPF or EGR on it, just go ahead and delete it. It will save. Yes, it will cost you money, but it will save you in the long run. The DPF and EGRs will clog with soot and exhaust fumes, and it will make your truck want to suck diesel faster than you could suck 5 lemonades on a hot summer day. And that's how fast it'll suck down a 40-gallon tank of diesel. And most F series trucks are built with, obviously 40-gallon diesel fuel tanks. And man, it's hot out here. Okay, but that's about all on that. But yeah, I'm doing good. Matter of fact, if you look behind me, I gotta clean all that shit up. It's pretty much just a flattened out mobile home park trailer. I just hooked a chain to the front end that's sunk in like a 6, 8 foot deep hole in the ground. It literally, like, the hole just washed in the whole front of the house basically just collapsed. I can see the frame curving, and it's on a steel frame, but I can see the whole front of it just curving down into it. Or I don't think it's not curving. It's the whole house is just like linked forward down into the hole. But yeah, all the truck, this stuff, but the 6.0, 6.4, 6.7, just a little bit more picky than the 7.3. Just make sure you got clean oil, make sure all coolant's no leaks whatsoever, clean fuel system, make sure all the parts are working, all your gaskets are good. Make sure that 5R110, I think it's the Dash W830 transmission. I think that's what it is, but I may be wrong with the W830 part, but I know it's definitely a 5R110 transmission. Those are great transmissions. Just make sure you keep them alive. If you don't, they will blow, they will die on you, and you will be stuck with very expensive payment on that just to get it rebuilt or replaced. And you got any more comments on that, or just subscribe and hit the notification bell, whatever, just tell me, hey, yeah, you got any other, anything else, or just let me know what kind of problems y'all having on your trucks. I might be able to make a video and kind of describe all that. I think my next video is gonna be, looking over the truck. Y'all get to see which, the E350 I'm talking about. I get to show you some of the problems. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be the good one. And just let me know what y'all think, and I'll see if I can get that out as soon as I can. Okay, see y'all.